Welcome to the Don't Know Tao, where we discuss the don't know mind. Today we have a story, When the Bell Sounds. We're discussing what cause and effect is, what drives us, why we do anything, and why and because. And if you're new here, my name is Fakery, and I'm trying to understand what we're doing here. If we are doing anything here, if we are even here. Let's not get too carried away. If you like Zen stories, subscribe for more. Today, this is When the Bell Sounds. Mumon said, "The world is vast and wide. Why do you put on your 7-piece robe at the sound of a bell?" Very, very short, a lot to think about. The world is vast, the world is wide, meaning that there's a lot to do, there's a lot of places to be, there's so many different possibilities out there. Yet, you are here, putting on your 7-piece robe at the sound of the bell. That is talking about some specific ritual in the Zen tradition. I don't know what it means exactly. Essentially, why are you practicing right now? Why are you practicing Zen? And what are the karmic habits that have built up to this moment? Why are you here? What led you to this? What led you to this YouTube video? Maybe you're one of my friends and you're just watching because you're interested in what I'm interested in. Hello, what's up? Maybe you are specifically interested in Zen stories and maybe Tao stuff and sort of spirituality in general. Hey, how you doing? Maybe you want to debunk non-duality and other of this sort of nonsensical philosophical musings. Maybe you want to attack these sort of things. Hey, what's up? Welcome you too. Comment please down below. There are lots of different reasons why somebody may be here. Or you may be a spiritually attained master and you realize that there is no cause and there is no effect and there is no connection for you being here. You being here, you being here, the actual consciousness being here is just, it's just a coincidence, really, to have the consciousness connected to the specific body that is the vessel that is hearing this message and listening to me through the computer and all that stuff. All those things lining together is just a coincidence. And even putting them all together into some sort of logical or coherent statement, to some sort of coherent pattern, is just happenstance. We'll have to explain this a little bit more in the commentary. Let's read through that. In studying Zen, you should not be swayed by sounds and forms. Even though you attain insight when hearing a voice or seeing a form, this is simply the ordinary way of things. Don't you know that a real Zen student commands sounds, controls forms, and is clear-sighted at every event and free on every occasion? Granted, you are free. Just tell me, does the sound come to your ear, or does your ear go to the sound? If both sound and silence die away, at such a juncture, how can you talk of Zen? While listening with your ear, you cannot tell. While hearing with your eye, you are truly intimate. Beautiful. Very beautiful. In studying Zen, you should not be swayed by sounds and forms. So if you're doing something because of something, you've missed it. If you're putting on your 7-piece robe because of the bell, you're being swayed by the forms. Don't be swayed by the forms. If you're doing any part of your spiritual growth because of something else, maybe because you've learned it from somebody else, maybe because you even think about it in yourself, you're missing it. Don't do anything because of anything. That because is the problem. Farther, even though you attain your insight when hearing a voice or seeing a form, this is simply the ordinary way of things. I love this. Even though you gain your insight when hearing the voice or seeing the form, so even though you may be understanding the words that I'm saying, even though you think you understand the words that I'm saying, you're really projecting meaning to the words. You're not understanding my words, you're projecting meaning to the words. The ear goes to the sound, not the sound going to the ear, right? This is the meaning goes from the person, the meaning comes from your consciousness outwards, not outwards in. There is no external world that has meaning that you are reading. You are projecting the meaning outwards. So when the leaves rustle, you can decide to project meaning onto it. You can be free to project meaning to that if you have to train a little bit to do that. You can project life to these things. You can project the voice of God to these things, or you cannot. And in the same sense, when somebody talks to you, you project meaning to the words generally, and you can stop doing that. You can stop projecting the meanings to the words. So you can control when your ear goes to the sounds and when the sound comes to your ears. You'll be the real Zen student who controls the sounds and commands the forms. Clear-sighted at every event and free on every occasion. That's the freedom that he's referring to. Freedom is you can project life, you can project meaning anywhere, and you can freely not project that life. You can freely not project that meaning. It's a very difficult one when I don't want to give any unfortunate examples. Let's just say you see a plant, you see your plant withering and wilting away. You can project a heart and soul there. You can say, oh, I'm heartbroken that the consciousness is dying within this. You can do that. You can actually literally do that. Or I want to give an example where you would see life and you would not project. You could be a person who doesn't project life to animals being factory farmed, right? Which is most people. They don't project life. They don't project the consciousness. They don't project the Buddha in these creatures. They don't project the deep suffering that is there. You want to be free to project and not project to anything at all times. You don't want to be stuck in any point. You want to be the real Zen student who can do either of those. And granted, you are free. Does the sound come to the ear and to the ear to the sound? Yes. When both silence and sound die away, at such juncture can you talk about Zen? Silence and sound, of course, two dualities. What is it that distinguishes the two dualities of silence and sound? What is it that distinguishes it? That is your consciousness. That is your energy, your chi. And when that juncture of what distinguishes between silence and sound, that juncture is your consciousness. And once you are at that consciousness, once you actually get to your consciousness, there's nothing to talk about because there's no distinctions. There's only consciousness. There's no more. There's nothing to distinguish. There's no yin, there's no yang, there's no silence, there's no speech, there's nothing. There's nothing is more broad than what is generally thought about. It's not nothing as opposed to something. It's both, but neither. It's the thing that distinguishes what nothing and something is. I feel like I'm getting a little carried away here. So we're going to move on towards the verse, which is not going to help. With realization, things make one family. Without realization, things are separated in 1,000 ways. Without realization, things make one family. With realization, things are separated into 1,000 ways. Amazing. This is beautiful. So we're gonna have to go through this part by part. We're gonna do half and half, okay? With realization, things are one family. Without realization, things are separated. So when you have the realization, everything is one. You can see the infinite oneness of the entire universe. Everything is connected. There is no separation. There is only the Tao. There is only the Buddha nature. There is only the non-dual. Everything is here and everything is connected. That is all you can see. That is it. When you are fully realized, that is all you can see. There is no distinctions out there. And if you see any distinctions, you have missed it. There are no distinctions. That's one half. The next half. If you see the connectedness of everything, if you see the oneness of the world, you're missing the point. Not everything is connected. Everything is infinitely distinguishable. Infinitely distinguishable. Every single atom is different from every other atom. Let's get even farther. Every single quark and gluon and fundamental particle of the 17 fundamental particles, and then even smaller than that, all the strings that are vibrating, each of those things are distinguished. Literally everything is infinitely distinguishable. Everything is separate. When you see that, you are realized. You have to see the infinite divisions of the world. You have to see both. or neither. You have to be free. You want to be completely free because you're not stuck on one. If you're stuck on one, then you're missing. You're missing it. Being stuck, seeing the infinite oneness and not seeing the infinite oneness is causing a duality. If you think that you see the infinite oneness at some point, then that means that you didn't see it at some other point, which is a separation. If you think that there is infinite division, and there was a time where you didn't see the infinite division, there is a separation here. There is no separation, which means that there is infinite separation. It gets tricky. You want to be free, not stuck on either the yin or the yang. You want to see the mechanism that is actually distinguishing between all of these things, the myriad things, or just the two things if you want to be clear. If you want to get beyond the mechanism that sees the yin and beyond the mechanism that distinguishes yin from yang, which is your chi, which is your energy, which is the consciousness. All right, I feel like I got a little carried away here. We got far enough. The question is, why are you doing anything? Why, when the bell sounds, are you doing the thing that you are doing? What is your consciousness distinguishing? Why are you making that connection to certain things? When things are happening, what is that connection being built in your mind that the consciousness is carving out? It's almost like a conspiracy theory, right? Like why and because and all these things that they make you make these connections, right? Why was there 4 planes and there were 4 buildings that got messed up, but only 3 of the buildings got hit? Why is that? Why was he teaching at a kindergarten? Why didn't he leave? You can ask all these questions and then you make the connections. You start making connections. The connections is the problem. There are no connections inherent in the world. You are making the connections. Your ear is going to the sound. All right, we got a little crazy there, which is unnecessary. So thank you very much for watching. There'll be a lot more videos in this playlist on the screen now. You can click the icon to subscribe to the channel. And also I'll be live on Twitch Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 9 Eastern time. Thank you very much for joining me. I hope you have a beautiful day. Bye-bye.